You know what? Good evening. I was just instructed that I was muted. Forgive me, the world of technology. So I want to repeat what I said. All right. I want to first of all welcome each and every one of you to this awesome virtual space tonight. What I'd like to do is give you just a quick second. You're going to want to share this broadcast on tonight. It's for all of your friends who are entrepreneurs. Please let's like and share this broadcast on tonight. This is going to be a very, very interesting topic. We won't be here very long with you, so I want you to take the time to share. If some of you all are watching this, watching the replay, please, we welcome you to share the replay. This is going to be some awesome and very profound information. So I want to take this time to introduce myself. I am Dr. Carolyn Stevens, and I am the CEO of Empowered Life. I serve as a clinical family therapist, also a licensed pastoral therapist as well. Sometimes I forget to mention that. But for those who would like to be able to find a path or journey with a therapist where you can integrate your faith, your Christian belief system in this journey of wellness, then I do that also as well. I'm also the CEO of Black House Collaborations. We serve as a media outlet for entrepreneurs, coaches, what have you, on a television on demand network that we have that streams to Roku, Amazon TV, Fire TV, Apple TV. And so please feel free to go to my website, which is www.drcarolynstevens.com. You could also find me on Facebook under Carolyn Stevens. Please feel free to reach out to me if you're interested. And on the screen, you'll see some of my media links there. You'll see the Facebook link. I'm also on Instagram, and you can send me an email if you're interested in having some of the therapy services that I offer. I am so thankful tonight. I could not start this without thanking the CEO and founder of the CEO District. This is the reason why I'm here tonight. None other than Kelly Bowens. Thank you, Kelly, sending you lots and lots of love. And so if you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're interested in connecting with an awesome group of women, if you need training, you need support, you need to visit the CEO District, and she has it up, the CEOdistrict.com. And so what I do for the district, if you write to me, make sure that you say you saw the broadcast tonight, you're a part of the CEO District, you're part of the CARES group. They also have a division for mental health and wellness, which is called the CARES group. Make sure you tell me that. We see it on the screen, okay? The CEOHopeline.com. Because for this organization, I do give a really great discount. I discount all the rates for the CEO District. And because I am a believer that no one should be turned down or not be able to access quality mental health care because they don't have the money. Okay, so don't let that stop you. Please reach out to them and try to get in touch with me. Let them know that you're interested in having some reduced cost therapy, and we will make that happen for you. Okay, so we have about 45 minutes, guys. This is going to be awesome. Every 6 weeks, we have something that is new that we have developed called Mind Your Business. And this is going to be a platform specifically for entrepreneurs. We're going to be talking about mental health and entrepreneurs. What are some of the issues as entrepreneurs that we face? What are some of our mental health challenges? Because while we're minding our business, we want to be able to do it in peace and not in pieces. So on tonight, we're going to get into our subject matter. I have titled this tonight, The Lonely Journey to Success. And so we're going to get into this tonight and we're going to talk about it. But I am so super excited because I'm not here by myself. I have a guest and a co-host, all wrapped in one. One of my absolute favorite people in the whole wide world. I come on, her and her husband, they have a platform. She'll tell you about it. I'm there every morning because that serves as my morning vitamin. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself and tell you a little bit about her. But her name is Lisa Santiago McNell. So we're going to invite her to come on to the stage. Hello, Lisa, with your beautiful self. How are you?
I am fantastic and I am grateful to be here so that we can talk about minding your business.
Yes,
And
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Listen, let's go right into it. But before we delve into our subject matter, please tell our virtual audience a little bit about Lisa and what you do. Let them see just a little bit of the fabulosity that you have.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. So, you know how women spend so much of their lives taking care of someone else, uplifting someone else, and being a chairperson, cheerleader for somebody else. And they often miss out on what they feel like was their purpose and get frustrated because of that. Well, what I do is I come in and I remind them of all the greatness that they actually are. They have so much that is in them, unique skills, gifts, and talents. And what they get to do through my coaching and publishing is to tap in, uncover it, discover it, and unleash it into the world so that they can actually become everything that they were intended to be. I'm excited because my company, Empowerment Publishing and Multimedia, it's now in its 8th year. We now have 150 authors under our belt. We have now celebrated 25 bestsellers, 3 international bestsellers, and our authors go on to become coaches because when you boil down the deliciousness of what you've learned, you realize that you have a responsibility to teach it to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I go on to help them to evolve their book into their coaching programs in many cases, in their own coaching programs, in the language that they learned along life's journey that someone else is waiting to understand.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, you are a wow person. Um, that's you, you really are. And Lisa and I have not known each other very long, but from day one that we talked, it was like we've known each other forever.
June,
And
immediately.
so you want to do it or you want me to do it? Let's
Go
give a
ahead,
shout.
do it.
Let's give a shout out to Brian tonight.
Absolutely.
Go give a shout out to Brian tonight.
Shout out, Brian, my sweetie pie, honey bun. I praise God for the husband that God placed with me. And we have been walking this journey for only 8 years. People look at us and they think we've been together for 30, 40 years.
It seems like it.
But this is the husband that God chose for me. We've been on this entrepreneurial journey together since day one. We have been living the ups and downs together, the celebrations and the setbacks. And we are moving in the direction of greatness in just the journey that God prepared for us.
Well, listen, I get a chance to watch Brian and Lisa every morning. They have a talk show that they do. They are the empowerment duo. So had to give a shout out to the greatest sales coach in the whole wide world.
Absolutely.
So, but it's really great having you here tonight. And again, Kelly Bowens told me, she said, well, Dr. Carolyn, you can have a guest if you like. And you were the first person I thought of.
I'm grateful
to grace this platform with me. And in the words of Oprah Winfrey, it's better when we do it together.
Absolutely.
Okay? It's better when we do it together. On Mind Your Business tonight, we are going to talk about a topic that actually I have a colleague. His name is Sir Markedu Higgins. And this is a topic that In our business discussions, he and I, Sir Market Higgins is a wealth builder. He's an author now, entrepreneur for many, many years. And we often would find ourselves in discussions where we would talk about some of our mental challenges
Absolutely.
serving as an entrepreneur. And so tonight, we want to, as a part of this segment, we want to talk about mental health and the entrepreneur. Okay. And our journey, what that looks like. When I come to you, we'll have different topics in the area of mental health and wellness. But Lisa, when I was doing some research, I didn't think the number would be this high, and I want to share it with you, and I want you to comment on it. So, in terms of mental health and entrepreneurs, 67, is that right? No, forgive me, 76% of entrepreneurs experience mental health challenges.
Absolutely.
76. I mean,
absolutely.
Would you care to comment on that since you've been
absolutely.
in the entrepreneurship world for a long time? That's a high number, 76.
It's a high number, but I dare say that in the non-entrepreneurial community, it's equally as high. But people just hide it behind a lot of different things. In the entrepreneurial community, you will find that many of us entrepreneurs are doing it solo. Solopreneurs are the highest number there. And because of that, you are operating in a silo. There's no one to be your sounding board. And many of the people that you are surrounded by are employees somewhere working for somewhere else. And they can't imagine why you would sign up for this foolishness that is entrepreneurship instead of just going to get a regular job. They want to downplay you operating in your skills, gifts, and talents. So you almost always are in the place where you got to defend your decision to bring forth what God told you to bring forth. And it's an often lonely it's a lonely path. Many entrepreneurs also don't have health care, which is why I applaud you for wanting to make sure that no one is left behind by offering opportunities, right? So understand that when you have the opportunity to get support, whether it's in clinical support with a certified therapist, whether it's with a coach, or whether it's with peers that are in support of what you are doing, it's necessary to get outside of just your own space and only the thoughts in your own head where there's no positive feedback, and get around somebody else that is going through similar situations that may support, celebrate, and uplift you as you go through it.
Absolutely. And so the main reason why I wanted to do this segment, especially with Lisa, well, because of her years of experience as a professional, but also, as I've had an opportunity to watch her on her own talk show with her husband, Brian, she's very transparent, translucent, and a very practical person. My kind of gal, okay? And I am a believer that when we talk about mental health and wellness, which I could, but I prefer to talk about it using layman's terms.
Absolutely.
So we want to be able to dive into these subjects, but not make it so complicated.
Right. Not so clinical.
You can't understand it.
Absolutely.
And so as I was thinking about different topics that pertain to mental health and entrepreneurs, we decided tonight to talk about social isolation. Social isolation.
It's for real.
It is very real. And so before we talk about maybe what that looks like, I'm sure Lisa and I have tons of stories and experiences, life experiences that we could share with you in that area. A couple of percentages here. So 76% of entrepreneurs experience mental health challenges. 37% of that 76 experience social isolation. And so I'm sure that most of us, if not all of us, in 2020, when
Yes, I
COVID,
was about to say,
when
absolutely.
COVID
It
came,
magnified the social isolation.
and
It
I'm going to say
magnified.
something, Lisa. You tell me your thoughts on this. Lots of people have come to me and said, well, do you think that COVID caused people to have mental health issues? I'm not going to say totally no, but here's always my answer. I believe that COVID
Exposed it.
exasperated issues that we were already
Yep.
not dealing with, issues that we were not.
And it exposed them as well.
Exactly. And so
Mhm.
in that time period, or especially when the onset of COVID, we couldn't reach out to people, we couldn't reach out to friends. I know for me as an entrepreneur, and you can share your experience, my biggest moment was when I realized that all the things that I was doing live and in living color, I could no longer do it live. And I got to this stuck place of, now what am I going to do? I mean, did you experience that with your business?
So for me, because for me, I realized it and I pivoted almost immediately. I won't claim any personal uh like magic because of that, but I immediately, almost to the day that we couldn't go outside anymore, I'm like, okay, well, we're online. Understand that we already had our show, we were already technological. So some of the things that we were doing offline, like our networking and our meetings, our weekly meetings, we have Women Empowerment Networks, which meets on the first and third Tuesday. All of those things, I immediately put them online. We didn't skip a beat. And then I realized that much of the tools that I was using for online were free, and
Yeah.
people were not taking advantage of them, free or low cost. So I went on to teach and educate other people, particularly people of a certain age. There were so many people that were starting to be left behind and left out in the 40s and 50-year-olds at that time, that I began to say, look, we're going to have a class, and I don't care if you have to have your grandbaby stand by you and show you what to click on. We're going to get through this and you're going to familiarize with it, because I knew that having a lifeline together, even if it was virtual, was going to save somebody's life.
That is so profound in terms of mental health and well-being, because we're just talking about COVID.
Right.
Okay. However, in life,
Mhm.
there are going to be times when we experience trauma.
Right.
That was on a global scale, but
But
there's
trauma
going
is
to
what prepared me.
now Lisa, that's good.
Trauma is
Now
what
go ahead.
prepared me. Absolutely. Everything. When I look back, when I think back over my life right now, when I look back, everything, every bit of trauma that I ever went through prepared me for something in my life that I was able to excel at, while other people were going, what? I didn't have that. I didn't have that opportunity. I had a survival mentality because I had survival experiences. I had to learn how to pivot because I had to survive. At 3 and 4 and 5, I had to have some place to live, some place to go. I had to understand how to eat. I had to understand as a young child how to be safe in certain situations. So
Yeah.
that trauma, those traumas actually prepared me for just mitigating life. And I'm grateful to God for it.
I mean, and that's so profound. Let's let's listen to that, um, because it's important that, and I don't want to say document our trauma, but what I will say is that be able to extract the
Yes,
life lessons that
from your
you
trauma.
have learned through going through trauma.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the first thing that I do with all my clients.
Absolutely extract the
Absolutely.
life lesson. So whatever it is that you have been through, listen.
Absolutely.
For all of you that are listening tonight, hey, we've all been through something, okay? That whether it was divorce, it could have been
Everything.
domestic violence, it could, from
Everything.
anything, everything,
Everything.
okay? But the key here is that you went through that.
Yep.
Oh, I feel kind of preachy now. See,
It's okay. Go ahead and help yourself.
I'm with Lisa Santiago. So, but you went through that
For
to
such a
get
time
to
as this.
this.
That's
You
right.
see, and if we're not careful, we
You missed
you
it.
know we'll miss it.
Yes.
And negative spirits, if you will make you feel as an entrepreneur, okay, maybe I'm not worthy.
Inadequate.
I'm
Absolutely.
inadequate for this, but you're just right for this, whatever this is for you, because you have already been qualified. Now, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Now, somebody needs to hear that right.
Please know that is true.
Listen, you have been all of your problems, all of your downfalls, all of your mistakes,
challenges, all of your situations.
it prepared you for this. So
exactly for this.
You can do this business. You can continue on. And so I love that, Lisa, what you mentioned in terms of being able to take those areas of trauma, things that we have been traumatized, and use it as a stepping stone or a learning curve.
Absolutely.
To be able to pivot, to be able to move and navigate from one space. Okay, I was here today. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was here yesterday. Today, I'm someplace else. So I'd like to hear your thoughts, Lisa. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure we have many women in this on this live tonight, but we have a few men. But in terms of, well, I'll just put the question out there and then we can discuss. Okay. So why do you think there are so many entrepreneurs who are lonely? And I go back to my colleague, Sir Market Hayden's, one of the favorite things that he would always say in terms of business: we can't do it alone. Right. We can't do it alone. And he would say, I've come to the acceptance and the realization that I cannot do it alone. Please share your thoughts on that. And I want somebody to put that in the chat, because that's a biggie.
I'll tell you first of all why we do often try to do it alone.
Okay.
Because we live our lives of entrepreneurships. We, and I include myself in this, we live our lives just like the wizard in The Wizard of Oz. We're concerned that if we let you see our everyday, if we let you see what we're going through, if we let you see that we got to get up and figure out where the bill money is coming from, that we got to get up and figure out what's going on with our children, that we've got to figure out these different things. If we let you see that, then you will find out that we're just a little tiny guy behind a curtain.
That is, and guess what? Here is the secret. We're going to see you anyway.
That part.
we're going to see you anyway.
Absolutely.
And
that's why people do it alone, because they think that they're keeping their secret, right? They think that people are only getting their press kit. You got it going on. Everything is going good. You're living on the top and everything is fly. But understand, people will actually respect when they see that you are doing it in spite of dealing with the everyday, that you're doing it in spite of carrying the regular stuff that everybody has to do. And it actually empowers more people to step out on faith, to operate in their skills, gifts, and talents when they see that you are doing it in spite of the drawbacks and the situations.
Because as an entrepreneur, you want to develop or show forth a level of authenticity.
You have to.
And authenticity, it sells. And guess what? Before you became a business owner and an entrepreneur, you were a human being first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a human being first. And if you stop doing business, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be a human being. And I know in my own personal life, Lisa, um, you know, I came along in ministry where we were taught you're not supposed to have anxiety. You're not supposed to get depressed. You're a minister. You've got to be strong. And so I adapted that ideology. And the truth of the matter is, when I started experiencing depression, I did it alone because
Absolutely.
I didn't want people to think, oh my gosh, she's a professional person and
Be
a
for real.
minister. She's going through depression. I experienced suicidal ideation in my life. Okay.
Absolutely.
While I was driving my Mercedes Benz and looking great on the outside, people had no idea that there were days that I was thinking, how could I turn this car over on the embankment? This is just really real. And so I kept everything inside and I dealt with things alone. And it took God healing me and bringing me to a new place
Absolutely.
where I learned that you can't do it alone.
No,
You
you
can't do
can't
it
do
alone.
it alone without each other, and you can't do it alone without God. If you try to do either one of those things, you are setting yourself up for failure. Because I'm telling you, God intends for us to lean and depend on Him. And He also intends us to lean and depend on one another. We really have to get to a place where we understand that we can go further together.
Absolutely. What what would you say in terms of what would be another reason why people choose to take this journey called life, or especially the entrepreneurial life, and
Mhm.
do it alone?
Again, I'll take it back to the same analogy, to the same origin of the analogy, imposter syndrome,
That's it.
right? So if I do it publicly with everybody, then you might see that I'm really not who I am. And the thing is, it's not that they'll see you're really not who you are. You already think you're really not who you are. And I don't care which entrepreneur, I'm not only talking about somebody else, I am talking about every entrepreneur in my seat. And I am very successful. And I have done this for over 15 years, coaching people, coaching women into their success, into their greatness, helping them see the positions that God has chosen for them before they were selected. And still, even after success and after success and success, there is often a little small voice that will sit on my shoulder and speak into my ear. Who do you think you are?
Oh, yes. I'm familiar with that small voice. That small voice has a cousin. And that cousin has sat on this shoulder. And
Absolutely.
I like the formula that's down below here. It's
Yes,
important.
it is.
God plus community equals success.
Amen.
Because when that small voice comes and tries to speak, then I remind that small voice of who I am.
Absolutely.
And
And the
that's what
thing about community is, Dr. Carolyn, is that your sister can also remind you that that
that's
voice is a lie.
that's the big piece. And so that's where I want to go. And some of my observations is that some reasons why entrepreneurs choose to do things alone, um, because being an entrepreneur is challenging work. Okay, it's challenging work.
It
Um,
is.
the term the solopreneur, and I'm going to say something about the solopreneur in a moment, because I think sometimes we've taken the solopreneur thing a little bit too far, entirely too far. Because
Absolutely.
being an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, it does not mean
By
that
yourself.
you have all the skills,
No,
you got all the talent,
no,
you know everything.
no.
You don't have to force yourself to work by yourself. Having feelings of nobody can do it like I do it. Come on, people out there, y'all know something. Okay, now, okay,
Absolutely. But that's a lie.
and that's a lie. That is a lie. And also in that equation, sometimes we have issues with trust. Okay, your issues with trust can certainly stem from your environmental um, background,
And
how you
your
were raised,
experiences, your previous
your
experiences.
experiences,
Mhm.
things of those sort. Okay, let's go ahead and let the cat out the bag if somebody doesn't know. Lisa sitting here, Dr. Carolyn sitting here, okay, and all of you in the chat and those of you watching,
We've
gonna watch.
been let down before.
Now now come on, get the secret out the bag. Okay, we've
Yes,
all been hurt, and I'm
absolutely.
certainly in no way minimizing anyone's demise
No,
or anyone's hurt. But let's say that again because that's important. We've all been hurt,
that's right.
everybody. So, but guess what's the good part about that? So now I could call Lisa, who is a fellow business professional, and I could say, "Hey, Lisa, I'd like to talk to you about something." And there's a commonality
Mhm.
already put in place there. I'm feeling real stressed about my business. I don't know where to go, and I can talk to her. Okay, and so I'd like for us to take these last couple of minutes to talk about, well, what do we do? How do we combat social isolation? Because the thing is, yes, we know about COVID, but unfortunately some people still continue to isolate
Yeah,
themselves
yeah.
past
Mhm.
past COVID. And so I I would like, Lisa, for us to maybe share some ways that we can combat social isolation.
Mhm.
Um, I got a few things that I'd like to share about that, and doing things alone,
Mhm.
building your business alone,
Mhm.
and how is that really working for you?
Right.
Okay, and so Lisa, I'd like for you to maybe share anything you want on how can we combat having challenges with social isolation.
Absolutely. I think the number one thing is to get a community. It doesn't have to be a big community. It just has to start where you are, whether it's in your church, whether it's in your neighborhood, your coffee shop, your whatever. Find yourself doing. Get out of the house. I just think that it's so important to get out of the house. And if you can't get out of the house, get into a virtual community. We have decided to keep our women's empowerment networks online because so many women all across the country became a part of our community, and some of them don't have the ability to come here in Charlotte where I am, and they would feel lost without our community. Others are, they're in Arizona, they're in California, they're everywhere, but we come together in virtually in an environment where they can not just be spoken to, because I think this is important, but they get to have their voice heard and we get to celebrate them. It's important to be amongst a community of people that are here to celebrate you. And that getting out of your social isolation, sometimes it's going to take baby steps. Sometimes you might not be ready to go out. There are some people that still have challenges and concerns with regards to COVID, and they're simply not psychologically ready to go out into the elements, if you will.
Yeah. You know what? Um, I'd love to put that here on the crawling banner here. Get out of the house. That's awesome, Lisa. And I do agree with that. I have clients, especially in COVID, because myself, I started doing telehealth because
Right.
we could no longer go to the office or go to people's homes. And so I've had clients who have had issues with social isolation. So, isolation. So I would tell them, take baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
Take baby steps. And I'm going to tell you something. It can be so easy to fall in that pattern, especially like I work from home 5 days a week, and I go out to work to because I'm a contracted therapist as well. I go out 2 days a week. But it can be so easy. You got your nice laptop, you got your everything set up, your nice little studio. You can just, drink a little coffee. It can be like an easy little fuzzy, cuddly little place to stay in.
Yes.
To stay in. And but you have to be intentional and understand this. People need people.
Absolutely.
God created us to interact and exchange with people. When the Bible talks about it's not good for man to dwell alone, that's not only man and wife, that's people.
It's people. He says to forsake not the fellowship together with like-minded believers. It's necessary for us to be in physical fellowship. There's something particularly that women come together. When we get together, we create an actual chemical called oxytocin.
Yes.
That is a good feeling. If you ever wonder why you are having a good old time when you're out with your girlfriend, walking the mall or inside the store or whatever it is, or just sitting and talking, it's because you are creating oxytocin, the drug that people pay for.
The drug that people pay for. And today, actually, when I went out to service, my fellow therapist and I did something different that we normally don't do. And I said, hey, why don't we go eat? Because when you're an entrepreneur, Carolyn guilty, put up 2 hands. You always got something to do. Okay. You'll find yourself, we have a lot to do, but you'll always use that for an excuse as well. I have a lot to do. I have a lot on my plate. I'm grinding. I'm the queen of the grind. And you have to be intentional about making sure that as you're growing as an entrepreneur, that you're also growing as a person. That should be first and foremost, is that you're growing as a person. And so she and we've been out for lunch today. And we didn't talk about much, but to your point, Lisa, I just enjoyed being in her company.
You got high.
I got high, girl.
Oxytocin will make you happy.
It will. And so we have to have that exchange of energy.
Absolutely.
Especially for women.
Especially for
women. Because we need that. We want to be able to talk. We like the fellowship. We like the hugs. How are you? And so make sure that you're being intentional about connecting. Let's start with other people, with a person. Being intentional about connecting with people. Because to break yourself out of social isolation, you're going to have to be intentional about it. You're going to have to make your mind up and then do the work.
It all starts with a decision. All of it starts with a decision. Every part of your success or failure is up to you. And when you decide to get out of your way, just do it. I like Mel Robbins says 3, 2, 1, do it, right? Because when you spend your time figuring out when I'm going to do it, how I'm going to do it, you will procrastinate yourself into never doing it.
That's the absolute truth. And the biggest thing that I have seen when it comes to women that I have talked with and observed, they tend not to interact as much as they probably need to because they've been hurt. Right. I'm going to go back to that. Now, again, Lisa and I both, let the cat out the bag, that we've all been hurt. Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. And that hurt, that situation, that experience is going to always try to come up to distract you from doing what we need to be doing. And what's healthy for us is connecting with other people. So if you have in your memory experiences that you've had with people. Well, I've heard lots of things. Well, when I got with the women, somebody stole my ideas. Okay, well that's not a bad thing. They stole your ideas. That means you're an innovator. That's what that means. That means that people dig you. I mean, they like your style.
Right.
Okay. And when you're not intentional about connectivity, it blocks you from getting to the great person that God
Absolutely.
wants to put in your life. Like
Absolutely.
if I had issues with connecting with other women, I wouldn't be sitting here with one of the greatest people in the whole wide world, Lisa McNeil. Okay. So
Amen.
fear will do that to you. But also in terms of your business, when you don't allow yourself to connect to other women's groups, such as what Lisa has, network in really healthy environments. Guess what? If you have people working with you or for you, you frustrate them also. You frustrate them. You frustrate them
This
because
is
they're
true.
looking for you to
To
give
pour
them
into them,
feedback
and
to
you don't have
and
nothing to give.
you don't have anything to give because you
You
don't
can't
go
give
out
from an empty cup. That's
with
right.
an empty cup.
You can't
You
give
don't go
from an
out and
empty cup.
support.
Absolutely.
And so that's why it's
Absolutely.
important, because when you connect to other people, I'm here tonight because Kelly and I connected. Had we not, and actually I'll be truthful about it. I think I saw her on Facebook or something, Lisa, and I just reached out to her and said, "Hey, I'm Dr. Carolyn, and I'd like to connect."
Amen.
I did that because I don't normally do that. But sometimes you got to do something that you don't normally do in order to get where you need to go, because you never know.
Absolutely.
What is the rule, Lisa, about the rules of separation? Is that 7
Six
people?
degrees of separation. That's from 1980. Understand, we are now in 2024. We have social media. Understand, it was 6 degrees of separation before we had all this social media. Right now, I submit to you that you can connect to anybody you want within 2 phone calls. Anybody within 2 phone calls or 2 text messages or 2 something. And what keeps us bound is fear. We're afraid to reach out. We're afraid to say, "Hey, how you doing?" We might come across as, "Oh, I'm worried. I'm going to come across as this, as I'm going to come across as that." What if you come across as somebody who needs what they got, and they got what you need?
That's that's powerful. That's powerful. I'm going to hinge something on that, since you said that. That was really powerful. It's 2 things. It's okay to not be okay. I want that. I want everybody to let that settle.
Absolutely.
If you're watching right now and you're maybe sitting in your bedroom, or maybe you're on your phone, and just deep, when you're doing your deep introspection, your deep dive, and you're saying, wow, I'm really not okay. It's okay
It's
to
okay.
not be okay. It really is. Because at some point we all experience not being okay. And so I want to add to that. It's even better to admit that you need help.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, I want you to take it from there. Admitting that you need help.
Admitting that you need help is the opportunity to get the help that you need. If
Ooh,
someone is, if
say that
you
again. Say that again. Say that again. That was good.
admitting that you need help is the opportunity to get the help that you need. And I'll take it even further, because there are so many people on here that are minimizing the lessons that they sit on, because they think, "Oh, I don't have enough degrees after my name. I don't have enough letters after my name. I'm not this, I'm not that." Let me tell you something. With you holding on to what you have been given because you don't think you're good enough, is you committing the sin of the desert. And that means that you are holding on to the water, but you won't tell anybody where it's at, because you don't feel qualified. you don't feel validated, it's time out for allowing the devil to use his little measly bag of tricks, steal, kill, and destroy. He don't go get nothing else. That's all he has. So if you take the skills that you got from your trauma, the things that you learned from your experience, what you went through your life that was designed to take you out, but yet you get up every morning and look in the mirror and take another breath, that means that you have conquered what came to kill you.
And guess what? And now you have an experience
that's
going to help somebody else.
Absolutely.
But I love, Lisa, what you said, because if you don't put yourself in a position to connect with other people and share,
and you're selfish.
That's selfish. And share. So you sitting by yourself, doing everything by yourself, you're depriving not only yourself, you're depriving
me.
You're depriving me.
Me. And yeah. I don't take that. I'm not going to take that lying down.
Me neither.
I need what you got. And I need you to put on your big girl panties and understand that whatever your setbacks are, whatever your drawbacks are, whatever your limitations are, let somebody else fill those gaps in you by connecting with your sisters so that we can get the part of you that only you carry.
Wow. Which says, I need you.
I need you.
I need you.
That's
Come on.
Right.
Come on, girl. I need you. Don't deprive me. Because there's something that you have that I don't have. And I'm waiting for you to come forward. Absolutely. So I can get that part that I need. Because see, and that's authentic connectivity.
It is. And again, this is not news. I have been to school. Dr. Carolyn has her degrees. We've been to school. But I'm going to tell you, it's in the first book. Every joint supplieth. Every one of us. We were all created to be unified and supply the needs that are necessary for success.
That is so good. So listen, we got a few minutes left. Mm-hmm. So we are talking about mental health and entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And what that journey can look like. But after tonight, that journey is not going to look like that. It's not going to be a lonely journey. I speak that over you now. It's Absolutely. Not going to be that way.
We're here for you.
We are here for you.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know. So we can get that out the way. Is everybody here for you? Okay, no.
Maybe not.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, Lisa, I remember doing an event, and no, it was a lady doing an event, and she kept saying, "It's not as many people here as I expected." And I was expecting so and so to show up, and she kept going on and on and on. And I said, "I'm here."
Right.
I'm here. So yeah, sometimes we're putting too much energy in thinking about the people that are not there for you.
Right.
Yeah, but we're here.
Celebrate the people that are there. Utilize them, celebrate them, support them, and stop always looking beyond them to see who else is coming, because you'll miss out on what is exactly right in front of you, worrying about the next thing.
Oh my goodness. And your next level is hinged on, and I know somebody will say, well, it's all God, but God works through people.
He says that I will make you faithful over few things. He said, if you are faithful over few things, I will make you ruler over many. When you go disrespecting your little 3 or 4 people that are in the room, then how are you going to be able to receive it when you have 15, 20, 50? When you go overlooking the few. If you don't cherish the few that I give you, then how are you going to honor the many that I give you?
That is so true. Listen, Lisa and I want to give you some takeaways for tonight. So be intentional about connecting, because cognitively, we all know we should connect. We
Yeah.
know that. But today, be intentional about connecting and pray first. God, help me connect to the people that you want to connect me to, but be intentional. There are virtual groups. Lisa has an awesome, I love her group, because the first thing she does is all those women in there, she'll tell us to introduce ourselves and what can we celebrate with you today. And I love that because it gives us a chance to allow ourselves to be honored, because sometimes we
Yes.
don't do that. But that's why it's important to connect to people, so that there are people who will honor you. Okay, who will honor you, who will remind you
Yes.
that you are awesome, you are the bomb.com. And let me say this, because I feel led to say this: people who are healthy for you,
Amen.
people who are healthy for you will always tap into the divine part of you, and they have no problem complimenting and connecting with you, because that's going to be a person that wants you to shine, and you're going to want them to shine. And those
Amen.
people are out here. And so leave here tonight being intentional about connecting. Get in a woman's group. I'm not going to say don't network. Networking is good, but don't always try to get in a networking group where you're always talking about business. Try to
That's
find
what's
good
unique
women's
about
group.
Women Empowerment Networks.
See, women's empowerment, that try to connect with a group where you can be empowered and
Absolutely.
inspired. And in her group, we also share our businesses.
Please know that.
So that's important. Please, please, please connect with a therapist, somebody like me.
Absolutely.
Listen,
Everyone
I
needs a
heard you say
therapist.
something the other day. I wanted to say, I heard you, I was talking to you, and you were sharing, because Lisa's a person, anytime you talk to her, you're going to walk away with something. Even if she's not
Amen.
talking about that much, I always walk away with something.
Well,
But
amen.
you said, yeah, I was just talking to my therapist today.
Mhm.
And she said, yeah, I've been with my therapist for 15 years. I was
Yep.
like, that, listen, I would give every woman in the whole wide world a therapist. Listen, if you need to connect with someone who is specialized in being objective and to help, I don't give people answers. Therapists can't
No,
give people answers.
they
We
cannot.
we only help you tap into the answers that are already there
Yeah.
anyway. But connect with a professional person. Lisa's a coach and a very good one. Connect with a coach. So I'm going to give you those three things that as entrepreneurs that we can do tonight. Lisa, we got a few minutes. What would be your takeaways here?
Absolutely. Just as Dr. Carolyn, just as you said, connect with a therapist, connect with a coach. This is not a journey that you can do alone. Teams forfeit for lack of coach. That means a good qualified team will not get to play if their coach is not present. That's how important coaches are. Understand, we want to see you succeed, and we can see objectively what you might overlook and
Oh,
help
wow.
you to put it into the right perspective. Understand that, get yourself together with a good community that will celebrate you and will guide you, support you, celebrate you, and guide you to resources you might not think that you have access to. We don't,
That's
we're not an island to ourselves. When we access our networks, our people who are in common networks, we are given the opportunity to access resources that we might not have understood that we had, that we might even overlook. And I'm grateful that I get to be that conduit for all the ladies that I connect with. There's a couple of men in there, but they don't come to our Tuesday nights. But for the most part, I work with women of a certain age, typically 35 and up, who are looking to really make sense of the experiences that they've gone through to help them to tap into their purpose so that they can live a truly fulfilled and authentic life.
And Lisa, real quick before we go,
Mhm.
tell people how they connect with you.
The
How they,
easiest way to connect with me is to go to thereallisasantiago.com. That's thereallisasantiago.com. All of my links are there, all of the access to the daily shows, to even to talk to me personally and get a complimentary clarity session just so that we can touch base and see who you need to talk to next. Is it me, or is it one of my coaches, or is it Dr. Carolyn? Who do you need to talk to? I only want to see you with the person that's going to take you to the next level.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa, for sharing that. And
Mhm.
please reach out to me. I think my information was put up on the screen. You can find me on Facebook. You can send me a DM. I'm on Instagram. Really best places to reach me out on Facebook and send me a DM. I'll share my number with you. If you just reach out to me, you can email me. It'll be very discreet, but please, if you'd like to connect with me, if you need to connect with the therapist, I would love, love, love to serve you in that way. And make sure that you mention that you saw me on the SHIO network in the SHIO district. Just send me a message. There it is right there, SHIOHopeline.com. Because if you come through there, you are going to get a reduced rate for therapeutic services. Listen, this has been absolutely phenomenal. My heart is full. Lisa, I have no words. You are just fantabulous, because that's fantastic, fabulous. I had to mix the two words.
Mix them up.
Yeah, all that. You all that, girl. And thank you so much for coming and sharing your wisdom, your insight. And I know that God is he is already doing phenomenal things for you, but the sky is definitely the limit for you.
Hallelujah. I receive
And
it.
I just see that. I just want to send out love and peace to all of you. Listen, we didn't get a chance to answer questions. So what I'll do is I will walk the halls of this Facebook. Okay. And if I see where you commented or you put a question, and if it was a question for Lisa, I can get it to her. I'll peruse the halls here of this Facebook Live to go in and comment, answer a question if we happen to miss your question. Again, thank you. Love you, Kelly, for allowing me to have this opportunity. And
Thank you so much.
together, let us all mind our business. Have a great
Absolutely.
evening. Have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.